March 31, 1965. Dearest Suzie, I'm sorry to hear that you are having so much trouble with the car and the washing machine. It seems like cars are just made to almost hold together till you get them paid for. Anyway, I'm glad to say I'm able to send you a big enough check this month to help you get everything taken care of, including shoes for the boys. I had our bond allotment changed so we would get a $100 bond each month, but I guess it won't be effective till next month. They didn't take it out of my pay at least, so they better not send you one. I had big hopes of saving some money while I was over here too. I wanted to come home with about $300 so we could have a good vacation, but I know now that I won't. There are so many things that I want to get from here, and I only have 5 more paydays, so I know I won't be able to save a cent. But at least the car will be paid for before I get home, so we won't be in too bad shape. Everything is about the same here. We had a big scare last night. The VC told us that they were going to blow up the compound, so we were on alert all night, and we still are. But so far, no VC, although they did blow up the American embassy in Saigon yesterday. I'm sure that you have heard about that by now. And of course, town is off limits again. Well, kiss the boys for me, and remember that I love you all very much. All my love. Bill. On March 30th, 1965, a powerful explosion ripped through the American embassy in Saigon. A bomb, hidden in a car parked just outside the building, killed 22 people and injured nearly 200 more, one of the deadliest attacks against Americans in Vietnam up to that point. The embassy bombing sent shockwaves through the country, and through the men stationed just a few hours away in Vinh Long. Popi mentions it almost in passing, tucked in alongside updates about shoes for the boys and car payments back home. He calls it a big scare, the kind of phrase that tries to soften the edges of something much darker. There's no lingering on the details, no speculation about what might happen next, just the bare facts. The embassy was bombed, the Viet Cong threatened to attack their compound, and town was off limits again. It's a reminder of how quickly violence could erupt, and how fragile the illusion of normalcy really was. The days might pass in routine, flying missions, writing letters, shopping for souvenirs, but danger was always just beneath the surface. The Viet Cong's warning turned the night into a long, sleepless wait. The embassy bombing marked a turning point in the war. It was one of the first attacks to show that the Viet Cong could strike deep into the heart of American operations, even in heavily guarded areas. For the men on the ground, it was another crack in whatever sense of safety they might have still held on to. After the bombing, President Johnson released a statement which read, "The terrorist outrage aimed at the American embassy in Saigon shows us once again what the struggle in Vietnam is about. This wanton act of ruthlessness has brought death and serious injury to innocent Vietnamese citizens in the street, as well as to American and Vietnamese personnel on duty. I extend my deepest sympathy to the families of all who lost their lives. Outrages like this will only reinforce the determination of the American people and government to continue and to strengthen their assistance and support for the people and government of Vietnam. The embassy is already back in business, and I shall at once request the Congress for authority and funds for the immediate construction of a new chancery for the American embassy in Saigon. This will be one more symbol of our solidarity with the people of Vietnam. It is they who are the real targets of the communist aggressors." Led by Ambassador Johnson, the Americans in Vietnam have once again shown outstanding qualities of courage and coolness. They have the admiration of their countrymen. That being said, I wonder what this bombing and the subsequent statement can teach us about our present moment, about our response to these types of violent acts. Does any of this remind you of anything else that has happened in recent years? The photo I chose for today appears to be a large square in a big city, which I assume is Saigon. It has a roundabout with some sort of signage in it and a man-made pond or water feature. The square itself looks to be a big parking lot for bikes or motorcycles. I'm Alex Lowy, and I hope you have enjoyed listening to this episode of Dearest Suzie, and receiving messages from the past that my Popi wrote exactly 60 years ago. I sincerely appreciate your time and interest. Please consider following the podcast on your preferred platform, and if you're enjoying it, I kindly ask that you take the time to rate the show and leave a review. Also, please follow the project on YouTube, X, and Instagram. All likes, comments, shares, and reviews will help grow the reach of this story. The links for these things should be in the description of this episode. Please feel free to email me at dearestsuziepodcast@gmail.com if you have anything you'd like to say. I'd love to chat or to hear about your stories as well. Thank you for listening, and God bless.